Looking at the head-to-head matchup, the Leafs won the season series going 7-2-1. And, there's two segments to it. There's a first segment versus Montreal when Montreal had Gallagher in the lineup. The Leafs went 3-1 in those games, but their possession number was only 44%. Their expected goals were 47%, and their high danger chances were only 44%. Now, those numbers took a steady incline in the next few games after Gallagher was gone, jumping up to 53% expected goals, 51% of the scoring chances, and 55% of the high danger chances. So again, it's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde scenario where you don't know, is that only because of Gallagher, or is that because the Leafs have gotten better, the Habs have gotten worse? Lebda, how do you interpret that?
Yeah, I think this is a little bit of, we talked about Brendan Gallagher earlier. Him missing from the Montreal lineup definitely does make an impact. It doesn't make that big of an impact for me. There's just no way. Some of this, I think, is, the first couple of games of the season where Montreal was started off so hot. I think that had something to do with it. The Leafs starting the season, they didn't come out flying. They got lots of wins. I will acknowledge that, but their play was not, like, possession wise, expected goals wise, was not what it was kind of towards the end of the season. So that definitely has a factor. And also the first, handful of games were with Claude Julien as well. So I think all those things add up, and that's why the Habs numbers look so good against the Leafs. Those numbers are not the real Habs to me. I think we're somewhere probably in the middle, but even in the middle might be a bit strong language. I think we're closer towards what they were, as a whole on the season versus what they were in the first 4 games.
So the way I would look at this is that we see in those first few games with Gallagher that Montreal did control pretty much everything from a standpoint other than scoring goals. And I think that this will come closer to even in this series. I think the chances, the shots, everything like that is going to be very close to 50-50. You could tell me 51% Toronto, 51% Montreal. I'd believe it. But the important thing is that those chances are going to be falling on the sticks of Austin Matthews, William Nylander, John Tavares, and those guys. And that is where the Leafs have such a clear advantage. So if they're able to play the Habs to even 50% of chances, I think that tilts the series heavily in Toronto's favor.
This Toronto team is so much better. I feel like we just need to put a big boom statement behind that. This Toronto team is better in every way. So we are breaking down these numbers, and the Habs have good numbers and stuff like that. But these are good numbers without elite talent, whether it's on the forward end, whether it's on the defense end. Like, the Habs don't have a lot of elite talent in either of those positions. I'd say, Brendan Gallagher's probably elite talent, but he's not elite scoring talent per se. And Jeff Petry's probably elite talent on the back end. And other than that, the Habs have, a bunch of good players that just don't have those highs, where if you look at the Leafs, their entire, first line with Hyman, Marner, and Matthews is all elite talent. Tavares, Nylander, elite forward talent. Their back end, Jake Muzzin, TJ Brody, Morgan Riley, you probably say is elite talent offensively, but his defensive game probably takes that away from him. So when we are breaking down these numbers, anything close to even for the Leafs is a complete win because of their just game-breaking amount of talent throughout their lineup.
Absolutely. And even if you just look at the Canadiens of last year, where they finished 24th in the league, they still had 53% of the expected goals, and they were 3rd in the league in that regard. So clearly these stats don't translate with the Habs like they would for a normal team. So it gives me a lot of confidence in this Leafs team to be able to win, as long as Carey Price doesn't play out of his mind and our goaltending is reliable. That's pretty much what it boils down to for me.
Yeah, and to be honest, Carey Price isn't going to play out of his mind, man. The guy is damaged goods like Fred Anderson. A very good comparison for me is if you have Fred Anderson starting in game 1, how confident are you in Fred Anderson there, Sats?
Not at all.
Exactly. And Fred Anderson has been, maybe slightly worse than Carey Price this year and probably equally as bad the last couple of years. So for me, Carey Price, sure, he has maybe that in him, but the way things are going, I just do not see that happening at all.